Yep. Peace, love, and understanding. This is Mandel. I hope everybody is doing blessed on this Tuesday, February 15th. CYnthia G seems like the gift that keeps on giving. I've come to tune into her content just to disagree with something, and it's crazy how impressionable I am, how attached I get to this YouTube content. I may need therapy. Man, I've been going at it with these Twitter trolls and all that. It's crazy. Troll alley is dry, so I figure a part 2 to this would be alright. I'm still just as lost as I was in the first video, so please don't mind me.
Juxtaposition from black male culture and every other culture of men in this country. And he's right.
Enjoy unlimited DVR storage and never worry about hidden fees.
Hold on.
That's why the community is
permission to even speak on his own show. Yeah, he did. Lord have mercy. These are y'all's alpha male kings, though, who, mind you, men of no color are threatened by. Because they will tell y'all men of no color, they threaten, we take their women. Really? This is the threat?
So just to say the perfect one, just as a to say the perfect man. What I would call a good woman is a woman who doesn't sleep around, who doesn't have a high body count, who's okay with traditional gender roles, who's okay with staying at home, who's okay with supporting her husband.
Wait. Yes, so you just, hold on. You just want a woman who's okay with gender roles and supporting her husband.
No, you just.
You don't want a woman who's cheerful about it. You just want a woman who's just okay with it.
So now you're playing semantics and every weird trick. So what I'm saying is that, I have a traditional wife, I have a family, and my wife enjoys being at home with the kids.
Well, see, that's what I just wanted you to say that part, because someone being okay with something and someone enjoying it.
Can I just say, I wish.
My thing is, why so much investment? Like, you get what I'm saying? I was doing a lot of thinking about it, like, because this topic is real heavy on my mind. Why does it have to be, if I don't like this group, I'm gonna bash this group? Why can't it just be, if I don't like this group, I don't deal with this group? I gotta be like, here are the reasons why. Like, nobody asks, to be honest.
That the energy that this man, like all of him calling him out of his name aside, he's going hard.
And how you gonna say all this calling him out? That's how I feel like she not black. Like, I don't hear black woman in her voice. And then for her to say, yo, even him saying nigga, let's just look away from that and focus on this problem. Like, what?
For marriage. Like, this is literally the debate. You are promoting male whoredom, non-commitment, and all of this, and what you should be saying is,
you know what? I get that part. A lot of people feel like once you have a platform, once you go on the internet, this is what you're promoting. You know what I'm saying? That's even why I've been like slow to drop these videos and all that, because I be smoking, I be drinking on my lives and all that. But I'm telling you, that Biden that safety funding bill or whatever he passed, allowing people to go on ahead and use their drugs in these safe zones and all that, that drink really got me turned off from this whole smoking thing, this whole inebriated thing. I really feel like after like, look, I'm still in my 20s. It may be my last year in my 20s, but I'm still here, so I'm just, fucking them off, shitting them off. But at the same time, it makes a brother want to be on some, man. If this is the way that they're trying to paint the picture, gotta try our best to change the narrative. I know, I'm failing terribly. My apologies.
Get married, find a good woman, let her be a stay-at-home mom. Like, in a perfect world, Black men would join together and go this hard for that, to allow their women to be able to stay at home, care for their children, not have to worry about being breadwinners. That
I really wish that I was in a position to just not worry about the mother of my child working. Like, we're just not in that condition. There's some people on different levels of the totem pole. If you just jumping up in relationships to get to the top of the totem pole because the grass is greener on the other side, you're in for a surprise. I'll tell you that much. I mean, we're all in for surprises. We don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? But
go hard for marriage, ostracize people who promote, other men who promote just sleeping around and having sex with as many women as possible. Honestly, this is embarrassing. I can't believe he posted this. And this is a great juxtaposition from Black male culture and every other culture of men in this country. And he's right. That's why the community is breaking apart, because now that they have access to the internet, they're publicly promoting their degenerate ideologies when it comes to male-female relations.
y'all gotta always give and take though. Like, it's like I hear a lot of giving blame, but it's like, yo, the internet done messed up both sides of the spectrum. So let's not just put this on Black men, please.
And making the problem even worse. Unfortunately, this white boy has a very good point.
Oh yeah.
It is super embarrassing.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Why it is that Black women tune out what other men are saying and only listen to what Black men are saying, which is to their extreme detriment, is beyond me. And it's also beyond me that Black men don't have to worry about even being compared to what these other men are doing. But the more that he does talk, and the more that, because here's the thing, it's not just this one man of no color who feels this way. He represents the majority of them, and
I'll be real with you. We're born already compared to a whole man. If you see a lot of the Black teenage shootings depicted on the media, you'll hear them refer to teenagers as, yo, this young man, or a 17-year-old man, and it's like, this is real mixy, because I still don't think they revised us as Black people being 3/5 of a man. So once we're born, we're already placed on a slotting tray, basically.
Because you have Fox News, you have CNN, you have multiple different platforms, Black men are always crying that somebody is bashing them. So clearly, it's not uncommon for men of no color to state that Black men are the problem. They've always been the problem. Yet Black women just don't want to acknowledge it. They want to turn it on themselves and say, no, we're the problem as women, and we need to hold ourselves accountable. Really?
And for the young Black men, because a lot of them are looking for a fatherly figure, what this white man is doing is parenting this man. Okay, this is why it is important.
No, he's exercising his hatred of this man, and he's done so via racism and shaming and all of that. But that's not parenting, and the fact that you would even consider that to be parenting, that he's trying to guide him somewhere, is it shows like, yo, people need to watch what's going on in their homes. Like, if that's what you consider parenting, I can only imagine how you're a parent to your child. But I digress.
For you to be in the home raising your sons so you can tell them when their behavior is a problem. That is what this white man is doing. He's parenting him.
He is parenting them, definitely setting them. But I want to say this because I wanted to comment on.
Supporting and celebrating.
I wanted to comment on this whole thing with the not having sex and abortions and stuff like that. Listen, for years, generations, people have been policing black women's sexuality. Either they weren't sexual enough, now they're too sexual, you should keep your legs closed, just withdraw sex from men who have sexual options and everybody. Like, I get why you're saying that. Obviously, it's easier to just not get pregnant and I guess not engage in sex to create the child. But how realistic?
But you know we dogs.
Is that like promoting abstinence in school isn't even effective in getting people to not have sex? You're not telling humans to not have sex with other humans isn't really realistic. If they choose to not do that, I'm all for it. But how realistic is it? So when we say,
so to tell people that if they don't want a certain result, don't do a certain action is unrealistic. Okay.
abort their male children, it's giving a more realistic option. A woman is more likely to go get an abortion than she is to not have sex. It just is what it is.
Well, nobody said don't have sex. That's not what people were saying. Personally, I quite frankly would say don't have anything to do with certain people who perpetrate that type of behavior. Get your cakes wherever you need to. But you should have a thorough understanding of what you're getting yourself into, and you should have a plan B, C, D, and E.
Yeah, we shouldn't be sleeping with substandard men for sure.
But
why even risk having to?
Well,
why even risk your body or damage to your body or your psyche to deal with somebody that's substandard? Even if you're going to be sleeping with somebody, don't sleep with substandard people, and then you don't have to worry about getting pregnant by a substandard individual.
Is that part? That don't sound impossible. Like, yo, if I don't want to have a baby by this person, let me not do this action with this person. Like, yo, they make a simple concept so far to grasp, and it's just like, yo,
Black women don't see black men as substandard. We're in a black man worshiping culture. So this is when it comes to meet people where they are. If black women saw black men as substandard, I don't think that they would be popping up doing these dating coach things. I don't think that they would be telling black women they're average at best if black women viewed them as substandard. So when I give out solutions or when I talk about what should be done, I'm doing it in a context of
we already went over this. You agreeing with this man who says that prioritizing time spent is the same thing as being subservient, and we're supposed to take advice from you? You here trying to correct other people on their diction and their vocabulary when they're correct, and we're supposed to listen. That's like me going into school and forget what the teacher got to say. Yo, homie, what's the answer to number 7? Like, there go the teacher on the whiteboard showing me what the answer is, how to get the answer, how to understand, and I'm just like, nah. Yo, bro, you know how to do this problem? Like, come on, B. No, we not gonna waste taxpayer money like that.
Where black women currently are. What is most realistic for them to do? Is it likely that black women are going to go out and stop having sex with men that they worship and are calling kings and are literally calling gods Or is it more realistic that you will say after this man shows you who he is because you lack the discernment to see it before, abort his male child? That's more realistic.
She said, aborting a man's child is more realistic than not sleeping with him. Yo, does she have a manager? Does she have a manager? Somebody, yo, where is Angelica at? Because this can't be the rhetoric of a sane black woman. Like, somebody must have hit her crazy, like air mattress Mandingo style. That's how I feel, because this is crazy. Let me just make sure I heard that right.
Realistic that you will say after this man shows you who he is because you lack the discernment to see it before, and stop having sex with men that they worship and are calling kings and are literally calling gods. Or is it more realistic that you will say after this man shows you who he is because you lack the discernment to see it before, abort his male child? That's more realistic in the context of the black male worshiping culture that we live in now. If black women were
Okay. So you're saying if he pulls a rug from under your feet, like, oh, he was, you seen him as a king and god, which the Holy Bible tells you not to do anyway. You're not supposed to idolize man and all that, have false idols and all that. But here you are, jumping up into the propaganda, and then you get with this dude and he shows you who he truly is after or before you get pregnant. Or did you guys just get pregnant on the first go round, and then you decided, wait, after seeing who this guy really is, after having intercourse with him, I'm now gonna say, yeah, let me take this off the map. So I'm saying marriage isn't for everybody, but I believe some women should have just, if you're gonna go on ahead and think like that, you might as well have waited for marriage. Like, straight up. Do the vetting process. I think a lot of mothers need to teach their daughters the vetting process. Like, not to take anything from the city boys. Listen, the Twitter swindler done sent us up the ranks like crazy. So listen, we could give a little game, right? I really feel like a lot of mothers need to tell their daughters, yo, if it's a 90-day rule or whatever it is, but like, for all that, vet the man. Make sure he don't use Joe Biden's crack pipes. Just vet him, because anybody could trick you in a day. It takes a very significant amount of patience and dedication to sit there and trick somebody for a year or months. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the type of dedication you'll probably look past all the faults and all the flaws. Just the fact that homie stuck around, you'll probably be like, oh, well, I see who he really is now. Let me weigh it out on a Libra scale. But to just jump in bed with him night 2 and then say, yeah, he ain't like that, this baby gotta go, that's crazy. Angelica is controlling you to say the worst things that, some of the worst things I've heard on YouTube. But I do love to hear it. I ain't even gonna hold you. Very thought-provoking.
To acknowledge that black men are the problem, then yes, I would say, okay, stop having sex with them then. They're not there yet. They're not. They're just not there. And so I feel like telling them to not have sex with these men should probably be tabled until black women are at least come to the agreement that black men are the problem.
But how you gonna say you're not gonna tell black women to not deal with these men? You're just telling them oh, if you get pregnant by these men, though, that's wicked. Like, don't y'all see there's an agenda there? There's an Angelica there? Or am I just bugging? Maybe I'm bugging, right? I really feel like there's an Angelica here. I mean, an agenda here. Cause what? We already. So you was just, cause I watch your stuff. I ain't even gonna hold you. You was just jumping on Van Jones, talking about him making another single mother outside of the race, right? You was just jumping on Van Jones about these kids. But then here you are saying, oh, that these kids should be not even given a chance. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy, man. And then it's crazy because it's like, when it comes to parenthood, right? I feel like, yo, before you become a parent, and it's not in all cases, right? But before you become a parent, you should really take tally of what you hold as an accomplishment, especially in the dating marketplace, as they like to call it. You know what I'm saying? Because when it comes to parenthood, after that, there's no more, there's no more you. It's like, it's all about the kid, I would think. And if it's not that, then listen, we just two different types of people. My heart beat differently. You get what I'm saying? I feel like, yo, once I have a kid, it's like, alright, that's it for my dreams. That's it for my accomplishments. Now it's time to nourish this flower. You know what I'm saying? Like, now it's time to watch this grow and make sure that this here is vibrant. I had my time. This person didn't ask to be here, and they're here because of my doing. That's a big responsibility. But hey, here they are talking about, oh no, take them out. Take them out. That's crazy. It's just insane.
And they're not there yet.
Yeah, I think that you're. I think that approach is the most pragmatic one, because it's like you said, you have to meet the people where they are, and this is where.
What makes it even more crazy is that she has almost 100,000 subscribers. So that's like, I'm not subscribed, you know, because I can't. I don't subscribe to, I don't condone the rhetoric or the narrative that I'm hearing. But it's just crazy. She got so many minions. That's just with her on this journey. It's just crazy to me, honestly.
Black women are currently. And anyway, a lot of times you don't even, like, a lot of these women, they don't even realize or get to see how degenerate the man is until something like a pregnancy occurs. That, I mean, it's unfortunate. I mean, in a perfect world, like I said, I don't.
Oh well. Now, don't get me wrong. If you see that this person is unfit as a parent and would be detrimental to the development of a child, like, if he beating you, if he beating a child, like, for educational purposes only. Shout out I Smoke Hip Hop. Shout out Kev Rowe to you, even though he acting old and decrepit. Shout out Fresh and Fit, Hassan Campbell, Miss 504, the plainest Jane. Hopefully she get her channel back. Salute to you. I need the backup page. Salute to Doggy Diamonds, Corinne Blizz, Russell Brand, Playback, Low Marcel, MTR, Call Me Kinfolk, New Breed, Nitrous TV, Mac Mula, and everybody. So boom, for educational purposes, shout out the whole YouTube community. if a dude is coming home, being on his wife, terrorizing the child, I can see how, that is a situation where it would be best where, maybe this person isn't fit to be a parent. And if not, probably maybe on in the future if they get better. But as of right now, they're not fit to be a parent. Then I can understand you being on this type of time. Like, not even this type of time, but having disagreements. Like, I don't think this person should be in the child's life. But when it comes to two people trying to be parents, that should be done at its most efficient, like, level. Like, you know what I'm saying? You need to do that to the maximum. Like, you bring a kid into the world, it's like, and I know a lot of women be on some old mama need time too. But it's like, that's time. Maybe because I don't have a kid yet, so I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I'm thinking that's time taken away from the kid. Like, if I was to, like, I smoke. If I have a kid, when I have a kid, I go on ahead and I go to the dealer, that's like guilt on my heart. Because then it's like, that's $10, $20, $30 that could have went to this kid's savings that I'm just here spending on myself. Like, it's not about myself anymore. It's something bigger. But sorry for the rant. I don't know how that thought, like, to this day, I'm still mind blown how that thought isn't synonymous around the world. But as I get older and less naive, I can see, like, all right, people come from different circumstances and different perspectives on parenthood and all that. So, of course, there's different types of people out here, man. But it just blows my mind that people are on some, it just blows my mind that people be on this type of time.
I don't think that anyone, me personally, I will not have sex with someone that I could not have a child by, if that happens. But that's not everybody. Metaphysically, if I could get Black women to understand, having sex with someone that you feel is beneath you, what it does to you metaphysically, on a spiritual level, we could go deep with that, but who's deep? So it's very simple. You can, it's like what you're saying. It's easier to tell them to eliminate or not get pregnant than to not have sex with, because of where we are culturally.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe so, but
and then that's okay. It's easier to tell women to get abortions than it is to tell women to just not have sex with people they don't want to have kids with. And we're just gonna speed by that. Well, that's just what the times we live in today. Like, you'll never hear this type of rhetoric in the barbershop. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of, like, right here, I'm sensing a whole lot of, like, just placing the blame on another. There's no accountability. And the retrospect is, like, in a barbershop, you'd hear straight up, yeah, I did that. I won't lie. That's my fault. I should have thought about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you go around with the neighborhood skeezer and now she turned out pregnant, it's like, don't get me wrong, dudes get tight. They don't get mad to the point where they don't take accountability for what they do. They look at it like they know what they stuck they stick in. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, listen.
I think, Nyla, you should say that again. Because I agree with Nyla. I'm not about to have sex with somebody I don't want to have a child with. Like, if I think you're beneath seeding my womb, I don't want to sleep with you. Like, you're not going to be on my radar.
But we're dogs.
Dan, everybody's not there, but we really need to get there. We really need to get there, though.
Because I know about us personally, it's about where is the collective of black women at? Where is the collective of black women's mindset at? Because I'm not going to be with well, it depends on how attractive I am to them or mine, but.
Well, you guys are saying that, so most.
No, they live in this fantasy world. They can't even specify their situation. They have to put it in a generalized, you feel me? Generalized setting, so they can pick and choose and rearrange characters to fit whatever they're about to talk about. And it's crazy. Like, talk about you. Oh, so it depends on how attractive I am. That what you about to go, like, you sound like you about to pick out an avatar. Like, nah, talk about you. Everything starts at home. You here looking out to the world and saying like nah, everything starts at home.
Men in general come and say, look, I'm disgusting and I'm a horrible person. No, they come on deceitful, showing one thing. And like I said, it kind of also goes back to the dating life. People do well sometimes in dating relationships, but it's when that responsibility gets there is when the change up happens, because that is a drastic change. And a lot of people don't, I mean, you can't even, most people, you can't prepare for it. So it can be, and I think in a lot of situations well, I can't say a lot of situations, because a lot of,
not to cut her off, but I hear that and I fully understand that, and that is a talking point that I would want to further explore. Like, you, because I can't see it from your side. You saying like there's a lot of people be saying that too, like, yo, right after the baby is born, all of a sudden there's a switch and dudes just be acting crazy, or during the pregnancy dudes be out there wilding. And it's like, there's triggers for certain people. Like, you can't just take, is this the majority? Is this certain cases you've heard of? Is this word of air? Like, what is it? You know what I'm saying? Where's the sources at? Because then I could do the same for the ladies' side. To say that, yo, once ladies get pregnant, they feel like, oh, yeah, he gotta go out and I need to get it off before I get big, and oh, I'm gonna call this dude over, because there are situations like that. You're not gonna cap and act like, oh, only one side happens, but oh, you're reaching now. Like, no, we're not gonna do that. It's almost like she here talking about, yo, if a dude approaches and he's portraying one thing, that he's one thing, but then after the pregnancy he shows that he's another. I can see how that's, that's very, that will put somebody in a tough position. You know what I'm saying? I can understand that. And listen, a part of me even wanted to compare it to how females would wear makeup, portray themselves as this, and then you give in, and then all of a sudden she wipe that off. But it's two different situations. That would be a reach. I'm not gonna do that with y'all. What I will do is I'm gonna say I want to explore that dynamic more, where it comes to what switch do y'all say happens? Like, you know what I'm saying? What switch happens? Is it a switch that y'all had no red flags in the beginning at all, or is it everything was good just a week ago type switch? Like, what is it?
Situations it's actually not, but a lot of times guys can present one way, and then you find out that that's not good. Okay, so last night
I think most situations the man is presenting one way when he's actually a different way, and based on those things, I think the most effective thing to do is to tell him to terminate the pregnancy. Because
yo, that joint hurts my ears, yo. Does she have kids? She must not have kids. And then, how old is CYnthia G? I'm about to look it up right now. Yes, y'all, I was trying to understand what an alpha and beta male was, because to my knowledge, alpha and beta were terms used for animals. And now, it's funny because I didn't even want to dive into this, but since we're here, alpha male and beta male, or simply alpha and beta, are pseudoscientific slang terms for men derived from the designation for alpha and beta animals in ethology. Sorry, I haven't been in school for a while, so let me read this again. Alpha male and beta male, or simply alpha and beta, are pseudoscientific slang terms. Pseudo-scientific. Oh, wait, hold on. You know what science is, right? We all know what science is. Do you know what pseudoscience is? Hold on. Sorry, we're going to get back to the whole time. We're going to go on ahead and read this over, but I just want to see this real quick. See. Pseudoscientific. Pseudoscientific. Now peep this, right? Just peep game. Yeah, I was trying to do my taxes. It didn't work out. Pseudo-scientific. Falsely or mistakenly claimed or regarded as based on scientific methods. Sorry for my reading, y'all. Listen. I've been out of school for a while. Right. I want to go back. I need to get back into reading. But nobody's told me when September came back around. Like, you know, when September came back around, because, like, we're still rocking with the same textbooks. Like, there's so much new technology and new knowledge and new this, new that. Like, what are we doing? What am I reading? Somebody give me some books to read, please. Refer some books to me. Anyway, pseudoscientific, falsely or mistakenly. Now, if y'all base a whole dimension or a whole sector of life on falsely or mistakenly claimed things, falsely or mistakenly claimed science, if you base a whole sector of your life on falsehood and mistakes, keep it. I don't want it. Straight up like that. Oh yeah, pseudoscientific. Falsely or mistakenly claimed or regarded as being based on scientific method. And see, you're not even playing with them. This is the dictionary from Google. Normally Google gives you a whole bunch of other definitions. This is the only one. Straight up. It's not well, oh, and pseudoscience is also this and the mystics, and no, we're not doing that. Pseudoscience is falsely or mistakenly claimed information being regarded or based on scientific method. I know that's not what it says. Well, again, I'm telling you, I've been out of school for a minute. Just bear with me. So anyway, alpha and beta male. Simply, alpha and beta are pseudoscientific slang terms for men derived from the designation for alpha and beta animals in ethology. And then there's a whole bunch of other stuff that you could look into, but yeah. We came over here to see how old is CYnthia G. I'm sure somebody knows. Look, what's this? Hype editor? Hype auditor? Again, I haven't been to school in a minute. What's this? Oh yeah, I got a VPN on, yeah, so some of these joints is gonna have me do some extra stuff just to go in. I'm telling you, yo, them Twitter trolls, them Twitter trolls is real. Talking about, oh yeah, we track people. I'm like, yo, any 10-year-old with any level of Microsoft comprehension can track an IP address. Like, that's not impressive. Anyway, check out YouTube, CYnthia G, news and politics, humor. The news and politics, I guess. Humor, I guess. What are we doing? Where's her age at? I thought they were gonna give me information. Yo, Cynthia, how old are you? No, not like that, because I know it's mad rude to ask. My fault for just straight up like that. But now the fact that I came all the way over here to still not see your age. Like, I just did a whole capture. Like, 2 of them at that. Wait, is Cynthia G pregnant? But she better not be. Wait, that's what Onk's truth. Wait. wait. We not gonna do this. This isn't what I signed up for. This isn't what I signed up for. Hold on. Pardon me, y'all. I just want to see something.
Just like based on everything, for right now, the most practical solution is to don't give birth to the male children. No.
Practical. You're saying it's practical, but it's actually not.
So we got Onyx Rose, and then we got Onyx Love. Right? That's Onyx Truth. I don't want to, but I kind of do. Is Cynthia G pregnant by a dusty beta male? I need you guys to start paying attention to something. I want you all to take notice. Blah, 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 blah. Onyx Truth. Hey, listen, I ain't gonna go on ahead and say they the same person. I just seen the name Onyx, and then I remembered the name Onyx, and then I said to myself, that would be very, very mixy. But I guess I was reaching. Oh well. Nelson was reaching. Okay. Whatever. Nah, yo, for real. I'm being serious. I'm trying to find out what her age is. Google don't know. And I can understand why Google wouldn't know. You know what I'm saying? Google is not all-knowing. You know what I'm saying? But you would think that they would put that up somewhere. Okay, so we don't know how old Cynthia G is. It's disappointing.
Not, because most black women are very, very inclined to be raised in a way that you don't abort to be pro-life. That's just
you can look at the abortion rate and tell, regardless to how black women were raised, regardless to their religious affiliation, they don't have an issue getting an abortion.
So just going ahead and keep on doing it. That's like basically saying to the gang culture, yo, we can see that even though y'all claim to have started to benefit the community, y'all still out here just killing each other. Just do it even more. Go on ahead. Just finish the job. And it's like, yo, whoa, shorty. Sadistic much?
They don't. So none of that is really relevant.
That's true, because I'm in my experience, and I'm not saying personal, but like in my working field, there is a lot of people who literally use it as a form of birth control. So that's true.
Well, and a lot of the reasoning for abortions, to the extent that it's recorded, is these women don't want to be single mothers. They don't want to raise the child on their own. So they're already acknowledging that this is a very high probability among black men. I mean, you can look outside of the black community, which is something black women don't do either. They don't look at black men's track record with these non-black women. It's almost like black women only pay attention to the dynamic between black men and black women, and then they internalize and blame it on themselves.
Yo, I don't know where in America the sisters take your mistakes and blame it on themselves. Maybe for a split second. But the way that men gotta take y'all mistakes and blame it on ourselves for the rest of our lives, every day, morning, night, like having nightmares about it is boring to the subconscious. Like, it ain't no comparison. I'm sorry, that's my opinion. Ain't no comparison. Like, y'all quick to just jump down a brother's throat and be on some type of time. Like, yo, it's you. Nah, it's not me. I don't care if the sky is blue. It's you. Like, in the one instance, you have one crazy dude acting like yeah. Then it's like, yo, look how men can be. I'm like, yo, that's crazy.
Rather than comparing black men to other men and looking at his relationship outcomes with these other women. And when you look at their relationship outcomes with every woman, regardless to race, you see that it's the same. The majority of the time, it is the same. So the most practical thing for
Every woman.
right now, abort the males. Just if you don't want to have a child at all, just don't have a child. But the males are the most problematic. It just is what it is. In my
Yo, where's Angelica? This can't be a real black person talking like this. Like, yo, the self-hate is over 1,000, yo. Or the narcissism is over 1,000, which is crazy, right? Yo, they got black people all mixed up. They got black people. They got CYnthia all mixed up. How is the self-hate and the narcissism both over 1,000, shorty? Like, how you hate yourself but are self-indulge so much is crazy. It's crazy. Cause it gotta be that. It gotta be that you feel that, yo, you are a part of a higher species that's apart from black men, right? And on top of that, you have a problem with this situation that is your melanin. You have a problem with it, and to then project the misery, you come across as somebody who bashes the same community that you're a part of because of the self-hate, but while keeping a pompous self-image. It's a very complex situation, CYnthia, and I'm gonna pray for you.
mindset, in spirituality, and in every way, shape, and form, the males in our community are the problem. And so if black men are telling you you're not effectively able to raise these children, and we know that, these male children, but at the same time, we're not going to raise them, they're telling you and showing you.
But it's like, why do you look at this situation that was manufactured, right? I know why, because you're a product of the mechanism. You have to be. You have to have a puppet handler. I don't even want to talk to you anymore. I don't even want you to tell me how old you are. I want Angelica to tell me how long she has had you for a doll, and what are Angelica's agendas and things like that. Like, I want to talk to your puppet master. I don't want to talk to you no more. But back to what I was saying, right? Sheesh, what was I saying? Let me get my thoughts back. Hold on.
At the same time, we're not going to raise them. They're telling you and showing you that they acknowledge that you can't raise them effectively, but they're also not going to raise them.
Right. What I was gonna say is, you're taking a situation that was manufactured by probably the same puppet masters that control you to say this narrative, and you're comparing them to, you're basically putting that on Front Street as this is the norm. And there are other situations in other races that are highly similar, if not worse, or emulate that culture, but you speak nothing of that. Like, pardon me, like, look at Marshall Mathers' situation, right? Trailer Park. We seen the movie. Mom's embarrassing, fucking all up and down the trailer. My fault, Marshall. My fault. But you got nothing to say about that. That parenting is cool. to you. That parenting is cool to you. The parenting you don't agree with is when that situation is in the hood, and it's like, come on, shorty, you're being very blind. Like you're really hyper focusing on a certain situation, and it's giving off what vibes is it giving off? It's giving off obsessed vibes. Yeah, facts.
Then you are doing yourself and your future son a disservice by not terminating that pregnant. You're doing them a disservice because you already know what the layout is.
I can't even talk right.
Black men are telling you. Do you think this is the man on the screen that's going to be a committed father or raise a son if he gets one of the multiple women that he's with pregnant? Does he seem like that type?
You don't know. Does he seem like the type? You already just said you don't have good discernment skills. You self-admitted said, yo, as a black woman, or the black woman, right, which you're a part of, whether you like it or not, right, you're a part of that group. You said, yo, they don't have the discernment when it comes to these men. So here you are. See, this is what I'm talking about. Interchangeable characters and situations to fit a certain narrative, right? So here you are using your same poor judgment to say, does this man seem like this, that, and the third? Whether he is or isn't, I don't know. Whether he'll take care of a kid or not, I don't know. But here you are flexing your poor judgment again after self-admittingly saying, yo, we have poor judgment. Like, make it make sense. You don't know.
I don't know, but I think that you are right, Sin, because as I'm reading the chat, people are like, well, what about birth control? What about condoms? They're basically like, well, why can't we do all this other stuff so we can keep sleeping with them? So if we're having this conversation and people are in the chat like, but we can do this and keep sleeping with them, but we can use a condom and keep sleeping with them, but we can take birth control and keep sleeping with them. It's like, okay, well, then I guess you're right. They're not going to stop sleeping with them. So carry on, ladies. Like, y'all do.
Listen, you heard Young Lotto, man. As long it's the two, it's the left wing and the right wing of the same bird. You have the propaganda that's gonna tell you, oh, big D energy rule the world, and then you're gonna have the same machine peddling out the propaganda that the patriarchy bad and it needs to come down, misogyny bad, and men need to just stop breathing. Like, come on, B. Like, it's... So, of course, if you have one side saying, I'm that unentertaining, not my own dog snoring, like, yo, bro, I'm talking here. Anyway, you got one side saying, fuck. And then you got one side saying, not him. When those joints meet, when those two propagandas and those two rhetorics meet, what do you think is going to be the byproduct? You're going to have very few success stories and a lot of fuck not him. It's like, yeah, pressure makes diamonds, right? But at the same time, how many diamonds does it make? You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you get what I'm saying. Yeah, pressure makes diamonds. But how many diamonds does it really make? Like, or how flawless of a diamond is that really? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, Yes, these situations build character, but also look at the situation's failure rate. Yes, we have some success stories, but let's not ignore the failure rate, is what I'm trying to say. My fault for that whole rant, but let's go.
You do what you do then, ladies.
You have to give an account that this is the culture that the women are raised in too. Like this is literally so, and then we also have to lend some sort of credence that some of the conversation is also policing, and other black women want to be in other black women's vaginas too.
Right. I really do think a lot of these women are carpet munchers. I really do. And y'all say,
Yo, what's with this shaming? Like, yo, I mean, if it's your opinion, it's your opinion, but God. It's like, yo, really? Sheesh, where's your heart? Have a soul. Why don't you? Sheesh.
comment section with your carpet munching ways, trying to recruit women and pull them away from black men. So you don't gotta compete because a lot of y'all are studs. But you ain't about to come into my comment section with your foolishness. I'm not. How would I? Even if I were to sit up here and say black women just don't have sex with black men, how would I enforce that or track that? Like there's no way to enforce it. Right. So you would just be saying it.
It's called a suggestion. What can you enforce? So hold on. Hold on. Because this is what I'm trying to tell you. Nelson for President 2028. Because this is how it starts. This is how these cults starts. Listen to what she said. Why would I tell you to not have relations with these black men? There's no way to enforce that. But you're telling women that do have sex with these black men to abort the child, because bringing to abort the baby boy because they have no worth to society. They bring no use. How do you enforce that though? So if you're not going to tell women one thing because you can't enforce it, in retrospect, you're going to tell women something because you can't enforce it, right? How do you enforce that? Who is your puppet master? That's a fact.
Black women love Jesus, right? They love Jesus, most of them anyway, but that don't stop them from having sex before marriage. It don't stop them from getting abortions. So, you know what I mean? So it's like you cannot control what people are going to do sexually. At best, you can meet them where they are and hopefully, progress.
And also, this is why I love my Heavenly Father so much. I love my God so much because He provides me the wisdom, the forethought, and the fortune to go on ahead and be in the right place at the right time, or even the wrong place at the wrong time. My experience made me who I am, and through my path it brought me to this guy over here. You see the dude above the video, the white man and the white woman? That's Oscar. He got engaged to the mother of his 3 children, I believe. 3 or 4. And this is a still shot from their breakup video, where it's clear that Oscar, the white gentleman up there, it's clear that Oscar wanted to reconcile and keep his family together. Almost heartbreaking to see, because listen, I'm telling Oscar right now, give it 5 years, maybe 4, he's gonna look back at this moment and say, thanks God, thank you, it was a blessing in disguise. But all I'm saying is, he was adamant about being very clear about his stance on the situation. His stance was, yes, I'm hurt, but I've exhausted different options to keep this together, and I'm still willing to. He was giving off he was exuding the energy of, I'm still willing to do what I gotta do. The young lady there, the one with the blonde hair and the flat forehead, she clearly was the initiator of, yo, this is it. We cannot do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. With her 3 kids, got to the touchdown, got the ring, and said, wait. What's behind door number 2? She hit her fiance with the he's not gonna make it. So I'm just saying that to allow you to see that, yo, it happens in every race, it happens in every culture, and we really need to be less naive about who we give our support to.
So, you know what I mean? So it's like, you cannot control what people are going to do sexually. At best, you can meet them where they are and hopefully, progress, right? Because there is an issue, and it's an issue with man worship, period, in my opinion, with a lot of women. But like, we have to take it step by step, and we're not cult building over here. So we're not.
She's lying. She's lying. She's lying. You know what? Let me not say that. All right, fine. For educational purposes only. All right, fine. You're not cult building over there.
Enforce, trying to rule with some iron acts of, putting chastity belts on black women and telling them what they're due. No, we're presenting them information that they could use and options that make sense for the time.
Okay, all right, let me get to.
Look, even her minions are looking shaky. I like the message, but not the solution. I'm not killing my seed. Sorry.
Some more of this, because the whole or Onyx, if you wanted to say something, you can you can go ahead and say what you're going to say before I play this.
I was just going to say, like, if people are very passionate about having children and raising them single, just be a foster parent for a while and see how it works for you. And if you realize that it's kind of an inconvenience and you see all the problems the child has as a result to being raised without their positive male role model, I mean, then just go for it. But I mean, I feel like there's just enough children in the world that are living and growing up without father figures.
You know what it is, though? I'm just hoping that I'm not seeing this from naive eyes. You know what I'm saying? Because in my mind, I run into a lot of people who, whether they don't want to have kids because of the examples that they see, and they're like just shied away from it. They're like, you know what I'm saying? Or if I see situations where people want to have kids, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, all right, what's the end goal though? Like, is it like you would want to have kids for the accessory look, or is it because you're a loving person and you really just have so much love to give and you feel like, yo, I want to pass that on? Like, see, there's some people who focus on generational wealth. We don't talk about generational love. We don't talk about that. We get a lot of like, yo, we get a lot of the byproduct of the self-hatred, the Jim Crow, you know, the crab in the bucket. We get a lot of that byproduct, but we don't get enough of the pay it forward. If you've ever seen that movie, they depicted it with the white kid, but this is beyond race. This has nothing to do with race when we're talking about, you feel me, messages and all that. So, well, these messages right now that I'm talking about, basically, and pay it forward, it's like that. Like, there's certain people out here who will step on people and in their pursuit to wealth, you get what I'm saying, do some of the most despicable things. And then there are people who will help others up in sacrifice of themselves. You know what I'm saying? Out of the corazon, like out of the love, out of the heart, because they got so much love that it bursts through and it exudes in their actions. But man, listen, I hope I'm not talking to a deaf people. You know what I'm saying? Real talk.
Male and female, we're adding to the issue, should be seen as something that like you just don't want to do. For me, that's like, I want to have 4 children, but it's like, I'm not going to do it. Can I actually, is it realistic? Would it be problematic and self-centered? Would it create issues for the whole of society? Probably. Because even though I could be one of those people say, my child, I know it's going to grow up great. Because a lot of people say that, and it's like, you just sound stupid, because your child, if you're having your child with someone who is not going to be present, or is going to be present, but it's going to be dysfunctional, you are creating a problem for society as a whole.
I'm gonna be real with you. There are people who have both parents who turn out to be shit. And then there are people who have one parent who turn out to be great people. So, and I just don't want somebody hearing this who probably has never been through those tracks of life or even met certain people in regards to understanding how they are. I don't want them to hear this and go out to the public and think that they have to operate in society with this, like, ringing in their ear, and like it's just madness. You know what I'm saying? But it's good entertainment. Like, you always got to take things for entertainment value. Like me, at this point, I'll watch CYnthia G. Like, I'll say I'll go check for her video right after this, see if she dropped a new one, just to see what she got to say. It's like that Charleston White stuff. Like, it's the shock value. It's the wait, did they just say that? You know what I'm saying? Like, hold on. It makes you think like there's no way. There's no way. I don't know what it is with humans in that situation, but yeah, whatever.
So not just big.
It is, but let me go ahead and play this, because I'm gonna hold my comment until after.
It's 2 different things. That's all I was saying. It wasn't about semantics. It was more about her attitude while she's fulfilling her role as a woman to you.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can, like, I can walk to the closest college campus where I live, find a hardcore feminist, give her the best dick she's ever had.
For educational purposes. That's the same man that said, yo, don't you want to fuck virgins? He did not in quotations. I don't think he said it just like that. He said, you wanna fuck virgins? Of course you gonna be giving the best dick she ever had. She ain't never had none. You fucking weirdo.
Then put her in a house that she thinks is nice, and if I pay the bill, and I support her and love her, her whole mindset will change. He's going to go from fucking the patriarchy to loving little baby feet. Right.
That's this. Who is this guy? Who's this guy? Who's the guy on the phone? And CYnthia, you guys gotta really, y'all, before y'all get into all this extra stuff, you need to start at home. The problems within the body. Why is it that women fall in love through their ears? Because then it ties down to, like, boom. The human brain doesn't fully develop its full cognitive capabilities, right? Until later on in life. Now, during that time, you live through your childhood, your adolescent years, your young adult phase, your adulthood. Probably by then, you have more percentage of your brain growth or whatever. But what I'm trying to say is, if females fall in love through their ears, right? And somebody can trick y'all. Like, we're all susceptible to tricks. Guys fall for tricks all the time. Alright? And somebody tricks y'all through your ears, right? Why then are you putting the blame on black men? Like, this guy right here, he sounds like a beer drinking hillbilly. And this is the guy that you're letting serenade you with nigger. And I told my wife not to vote because she's a woman. Yo, I heard one of her little minions talk about, that would be a perfect world. What? The dude that doesn't let you vote? That's crazy. I think what I'm trying to say is, like, yo, I can't with the foolishness. I can't with the foolishness. You're gonna let this white man serenade you, CYnthia, with nigger? Like, how do you know that's love? He says he's gonna love you and support you, nigger. How's that love? What the hell? Yo, y'all gotta stop getting tricked, man. You got two for a reason. Stop. Come on. Talking about you wanna fuck virgins? So then y'all here going hard for this white man, and ain't none of y'all virgins. Like, out of all the females that I heard on that call, on this call, whatever you want to call it, I know ain't none of y'all virgins. None of y'all. And I'm not talking born again. I'm talking about never been touched. Madonna. You feel me? Like, come on, man.
But this whole thing about, like, fuck bitches, I just want to fuck them. I don't care about, monogamy.
My N-word senses are tingling. I feel like he's about to drop the N-bomb again. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't care about marriage. So you believe that a man has to be monogamous to be a good man? Is that what you think? When it comes to...
Let me go more past this. Let me see if this is all he got.
I agree with him. Some things, and some women will disagree with me. I think some things are just in a woman's nature. I think if you provide a comfortable life for a woman and all of that.
This is the problem. They're playing Avatar. Because first you called him white boy, which is kind of telling that, all right, so you're not of that culture unless you're trying to be on some fit in and, oh yeah, that white boy when you're white yourself. But it sounds like you white, but you can be a black girl who they say talks white, you know. And it's like so you call him, yeah, this white boy, which is basically insinuating that you're black, and you feel that it would be a comfortable lifestyle that man is portraying to you. Help me understand. It's a comfortable lifestyle to be black and hear nigger all through the home that you share. Probably have kids with this man. This man got nigger kids. He's a nigger lover, but you're comfortable with it. Like, man, he says nigger. I'm sticking by him. Like, come on, B. Just weirdos.
She's not.
That's it. I'm convinced. You know what it is, and I tell people this all the time, right? A tornado, if you look at it from a distance, its destruction is almost harmonious. It's a sight to behold from a distance. But when you get close, if you're close to that tornado, is nothing. It's destructive. Yeah, but it's destructive to you. You're not looking from a viewer. You're in the mix. It's tearing you apart. It's not a pretty sight. I wouldn't imagine. And I compare that to Crazy, where it's like, yo, Crazy is very entertaining and all of that to watch from a distance. It's always fun to pick fun at them over there and over there. But the second that over there is here, it ain't fun no more. like Crazy is just like that tornado, where it's like, yo, you go crazy trying to sit here and rationalize crazy. You'll lose your shit sitting here trying to understand what Crazy is talking about. And then this is I'm telling you, I did the first video, started getting nauseous, head hurting. I'm here thinking she casting a spell on me with the lamb. And it's like, even this one, my head is starting to hurt because I'm trying to understand, but I'm driving myself crazy trying to rationalize crazy. Like, they wrong from the jump. So I'm really sitting here going over 3 hours of incorrect information, basically, from Jump Street. Like, it was just all fucked. So I don't know.
She's gonna roll with her comfort. Mm-hmm. Like you said, I could go pick up the most hardcore feminist and give her a life worth living where she's respected and allowed to rest in her femininity, and she's gonna be like, what am I angry about? I'm not pressed about anything. I'm comfortable. So I agree, but that goes against what.
I'm still not over the fact that what's comfortable about like, what's comfortable about servitude? What's comfortable about feeding a motherfucker grapes? A motherfucker that don't let you vote because of your sex, because of your gender. Like, you can, yo, there's some people who are just troopers, yo. That is comfortable to you? You could bear that? You a trooper. And I'm gonna pray for you.
Black men think, which is they're expecting women to completely start to fawn all over them and submit to them and do, this is what's being promoted in the manosphere, and then they'll start acting right. But that's not how women work. Women are not going to, quote unquote, act right for a man that has not proven that he's capable of doing anything that's beneficial to her. Very backward thinking.
That's also a dynamic I would like to explore, because a lot of times men find themselves in situations where they thought they could get shorty to act right, and then it's like the battery is putting shorty back and she just overpowers dude, but it's a situation that's depleting love. You know what I'm saying? So I would love to explore that dynamic. And if you need me to just reiterate that again, the dynamic of you feel that, yo, you could get shorty to act right? Which, again, I don't subscribe to. I feel like, yo, human beings are human beings. We have capabilities spanning from underground works to the moon. So this is what I'm saying in my last video. It's like probably back in the day when all we knew was rocks, trees, and fire. Probably back then, the next thing you would want to control after you realize, yo, I can't control these dinosaurs and shit. Let me control this person right here that makes me feel good after I go hunting. Let me control that. I can understand that, but these days that we living in, I really don't subscribe to that whole making somebody act right joint. Like, there's too many prizes out here. You got fortune, you got plane flights to different exotic countries, you got cruises, you got virtual reality, you got cars, driver's licenses. Can travel from this state to that state, road trip. There's just so much to do these days. It's like, come on, to sit back and still worry about controlling another person, like, that joint just shows a lack of progress to me. But that's just my opinion.
You do though, actually. I feel like,
oh yeah, but I would want to explore that dimension of, what do you mean by getting a chick to act right? You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to, I would love to explore that dynamic of getting a chick to act right, because it's like, especially when shorties get that battery in their back. You feel me? Like, a lot of times the way females see men interact with other men, like, get heated up and riled up. Yo, he said what? Oh, I'm about to, you know what I'm saying? Y'all witness dudes be on that type of time, and then y'all going ahead and try to emulate that, but y'all don't only going ahead and emulate that in your sector, your gender. You going ahead and try to emulate that on, like, yo, to the man, and it's like, yo, shorty, you're not even, what? You're not even like that. Like, cut it out.
women do act right until they find that over and over again they find that the guy is a liar, he's deceitful, he's not accountable for what he says. I feel like women will give everything to a relationship until repeatedly that guy shows them that they are like the worst person ever, and then when the woman changes up with her attitude because she's frustrated at how ridiculous he is, then it's a problem. And then it's like, she's not this person he wants to get on anymore, but he's created the dysfunction in the first place. So
you're right.
Okay, see, she kind of explained it a little bit. Basically saying that, all right, guys meet a girl, guys do bullshit to girl then puts up her wall, which guy feels is her masculinity, because guy now has to overexert the energy that he was first putting in to still get said girl. Did I say that right? I'm not. Hold on, cause I get it. Guy gets girl. Guy does bullshit to girl. Girl puts her wall up. Guy perceives wall as her masculinity because now he has to overexert himself, which is his nature, his masculinity, himself, to still have said girl. What a conundrum. I get it though.
Right? No, you're right. Actually, you're right. That's true. That happens a lot.
And it kind of goes back to the guy saying, women don't raise children well, the male children, because what they typically do in these relationships is they cause so much dysfunction, so much pain and agony in just the relationship between the parents. And then they say, well, she sees me for what I am, essentially. He's not saying she's what I am, but it's like she can no longer be deceived because she has experienced the type of person he is. So he can no longer say that this is what is, and she's because she knows already. So he can't deceive her and give her a different image of himself. So then he wants to go out of that relationship and find someone else who he can say, this is how I am, and the person doesn't know him, so that they will believe him until he knows them otherwise. And then he leaves.
I'm not even gonna hold you. It sounds about right. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I never thought. See, this is why I like staying till the end of the video, because I be going through the whole video thinking, yo, I'm not gonna be agreeing to none of this. These chicks is cuckoo, and then one of them will say something where it's like, damn, she kind of right. She kind of right. Like, you gotta understand, like, yo, shorties don't be getting it. Yo, when you get a dude mad, like, yo, people don't. It's like we all do the same things but different ways, and we have different sets of principles because we have different sets of morals, but we all try to make it seem like, oh no, I have that trait. Yeah, look, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I say that to say this: when a female is mad, right, and then she be on some, well, fine, I'ma do me, her whole face. It's the same thing as if a dude gets mad and says, I'm about to go start another family. This one's a dud. It's messed up. You get what I'm saying? But when a female says that, it's when she's like, yo, I'm angry, so I'm moving out of anger. And when the male says it, it's the same thing. I'm angry, I'm moving out of anger. Now, what does a female move out of anger and do? She does something that in her mind gives her leverage in the situation. Whether that leverage is an asset or a detriment. And what does the man do? He says, you know what? When he's mad, I'm gonna leave this situation where it's at, and I'm gonna go take my talents elsewhere. And that's how we deal with common situations differently. Just an example. The
situation with the frustrated mom with low resources, with no help, and who's upset about the outcome of the relationship. So this is the dynamics that they create, and then they leave it. They're like, well, I'm upset, so I'm not going to be in that relationship. But they leave their child in it, and they don't support their child.
Right. See, and then that's another thing. Word. The dude that says, yo, I'm gonna take my talents elsewhere, right? Then he comes from South Beach to the same chick that he left, thinking that it's all good and gravy because I'm just here to see my kid. I ain't talking to you, shorty. Oh, you not talking to who? The gatekeeper? Who you not talking to, brother? You should have known better. You should have took that time that you took your talents elsewhere. You should have read some books. Edumify yourself. Man, you not talking to who? Oh no, you not talking to this child. Ain't you a philanderer? That's not good for this kid. I'm just telling you how it's gonna go. And then you gonna be like, oh yeah, let's see what the courts gotta say about that. But the second you hear those words out of your own mouth, you already know, fuck. Damn, what are the courts gonna what are the courts gonna say about that? Cause they all in cahoots. They're all in cahoots against you. I'm talking to the females too. They're all in cahoots against you. I'm talking to the brothers. They all in cahoots against you. You. It's your movie. It's your world. Scarface told it to you. It's your world. We just living in it. That's another thing. You can't be mad at what you dealing with. Just change the channel. You got the full capability of changing the channel. Now, if you're somebody whose life is in, disarray, shambles, and it's like, Nelson, how am I gonna change the channel? I can't even find the remote. My television these are modern problems. They don't come with the volume and channel button on the side. These are modern problems, bro. I can't find my remote. And keep looking, bro. Search and you shall find. Seek and you shall find.
The same, way that they would expect the child to rate. It's like, you're not doing that. So it does come down to, like, why would you even be in a relationship with this type of, and I say this type of guy because it is predominantly within the black culture. And it is because they are not raised. They're not raised because...
Stop saying predominantly black culture. Stop it. Stop. I don't care. I don't care if you're telling me I don't want to see it. I don't want to look. La 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 la. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Yo, white single mothers. I work with them. Like, what are you telling me? What are you telling me? It's messed up because a single mother that I work with, her baby father is black. She's white, but her baby father is black. And it doesn't look good. I'm sorry, but if I'm gonna, in the spirit of honesty and transparency, I had to go on ahead and let you know that though I am trying to make a point, that it happens in other communities, I'm just proving her point in a sense. And I kind of did myself a disservice there. But it's okay. We're gonna bring it back full circle. Stop. I don't gotta do this. There are white people who leave their baby mothers also, and then just say it's enough. Like, yo, I was talking to this Marine, right? Well, ex-Marine or ex-Army dude, whatever. He's just big on that, body armor, and I supported the country, I served for the country and all that. He was telling me that the biggest rate of domestic offing yourself after offing everybody, it happens in the demographic of men who are married with kids. He's white. And he says men that are married to these Karens. Right? And he's adamant about it. Because I've heard him say it more than once. Like, he's adamant about, yo, when you look at the rates of these things happening, it happens in the white community. So stop doing this whole predominantly black because we're not raised right. We're raised by the streets. All right. How about you educate yourself? Because there are people that came from the streets who became great parents and great members of society. if I had to think of if I have to think of somebody, I'd say Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry, man was homeless. It's a fucked example because he's Medea, but you get what I'm saying. There, alright, that's a reach. That's a reach. August Alsina. Well, he fucked with Jada. Damn. Listen, my whole point is, though they're the unsung heroes. There are people from the streets who become success stories. Let's stop the cap. Talking about, oh, they're not raised. There are people who are raised that end up taking their parents' life in jail to this day. So stop it, man. Everybody is different. There's so many different dynamics that we're not even gonna subscribe to this whole put this action on that group and put that action on this group talk. We're not gonna do that, okay? Unless we're talking about stuff that are specifically for this. If the other side can do this also, we're not going to say it's just this group, predominantly this group. Because for all we know, it could possibly be predominantly that group. So cut it out. All because your vision is over here seeing war and destruction doesn't mean over there the same thing isn't happening. So cut it out.
Because they're not part of their upbringing. Not the black woman isn't. They're not part of their upbringing, and they're not part of their socialization in a healthy way. They're kind of like what you see. This guy's, they're quick to teach black men and boys dysfunction and how to be corrupt and how to be disrespectful, but they are not part of that upbringing or how to survive in a hostile environment. When I say hostile, I mean an environment where predominantly white people are looked at as successful and they're cultivated to be successful from every angle of the world, but you don't see that for black men or black boys. So the black men are not doing their part in saying, well, let me foster some, positivity and some...
Yo, you know what's crazy? That's crazy. They say women only respect violence. I remember that, like, from a kid. That's something that I heard in the hood. Yo, these bitches only respect violence, man. I've heard that. And this woman is here proving it because this is somebody that wants black men to be displaying the same actions that were used on them, displaying the same tactics or exercising the same oppressive tactics that were used on them to conquer, use military force and all this. This is how we became to the predicament that we're in. When there was a state of confusion, they got their militaries and their finances and all of that. They got that joint all joined together and they excluded a group. If you look at it, even today, man, look at all this money going through Congress and all these bills and all that. And what did the African American community get, quote unquote, African American? Because to me, it's hard. I don't see it. You can't be the oppressed and the oppressor. I heard that one time. African American means you're the oppressed and the oppressor. It's the two, they clash. It's what's the word I'm looking for? There's a conflict there. It's not an idiom. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not important. The whole point is the government has not passed anything for the black people, but yet we see these immigrants getting bills passed, the Native Americans getting these bills passed. And Listen, it's just a bad look. It's just a bad look. That's all I'm saying. Nelson for 2028, yo. Straight up.
Self-esteem in the children around, not even their own children, but let's just talk about the children in the community that already exist. They're failing at them as well. So it's like, for me, I can't look at a situation that as it is in the Black community and say, well, I'm going to add a Black child to this and hope that they come out right. It's just wrong, in my opinion, because in looking at the landscape, it's just not something. But I'd be more inclined to say, well, let me go foster a child, because I know that there are so many children out there who are living a very hardship life because of someone who made a choice to just say, well, I like this guy, so he sounds, he looks right, and things are going well, so it is what it is. Mm-hmm. That was just how.
Well, Black men, you can tell throughout these discussions because it's not just him, Nyla and Queen, you ladies know, and I don't know if Irene, if you saw the situation with the fresh and fit dusties and how other races of men have been weighing in on that. Some of them independently and some of them talking directly to these Black men from Fresh and Fit. And what I'm noticing as a theme here is how Black men have a very distorted, degenerate perspective of what manhood is.
I guess you could say that. We have an innate idea of what manhood is, though. But if you're gonna look at the way society teaches manhood and the generations of trauma leading to how we deal with our kids now, I could say it has been distorted. Yeah, I won't deny that. I'm really still here trying to think of that word. And I'm feeling mad remedial for it.
They just do. They think manhood is not providing, not protecting, comparing yourself to women, talking about weave and makeup, trying to beat down the value of a woman so you can feel like you have more value. So, and that's just to name a few of the things. But they have a very degenerate perspective of what manhood is. And what we see is that these other groups of men, at least publicly, they promote more functional relationships. They promote relationships where the woman isn't under his feet and he's walking on her and constantly feeling the need to beat down her self-esteem. That's a DV relationship. So essentially, Black men think manhood is DV. That is what they think.
You know what's funny? And it's not funny. I knew somebody in the hood named DV. And when we asked him, yo, what DV stand for though? Because we really wasn't thinking like, yo, this, he really said it, yo, yeah, domestic violence. I'm like, nah, B. I said, nah, B. But it's not funny. It's not funny. For educational purposes, man. You need to be safe. Always be aware of the people you deal with and be aware of your surroundings, especially at home. Be aware of the people that you're dealing with and aware of your surroundings. When I say it in that sense, I mean be aware of the people you're dealing with. Like, check in on the people that you love and that are sharing a household with you. And also, when I say be aware of your surroundings, you have to be aware of your household to know that you're safe. For your safety, be aware of your environment. All right, so let's continue.
It is, and you can tell it in their mindset, you can tell it in their relationship outcomes, and you can tell that largely other groups of men do not agree with what Black men think is manhood. Because you have this man here, essentially, what Queen said, schooling him on what manhood is. Telling them that what you're saying isn't going to do anything but cause the problem problems in your community. But do they care? No. Black men know that they're causing the problems in the community. They know. They don't care. They don't care about the children. They don't care about the effects of them not having a father. Black men don't care about the cycle repeating.
How black men don't care about the children, but you here saying abort them. Yo, I've had enough. I've had enough.